the way that started. We got to start like that more often. This is the Savage Circle Special Edition, episode 20. Y'all probably wasn't expecting us on a Thursday, but guess what? Expecting unexpected. Where'd Scott go?
Yeah,
There we
when
go.
artists
Here I am.
talk, we gotta talk.
There we go. Yeah, man. So it is what it is. We are here again for episode 20 of the Savage Circle. We have Scott Doland of Dispel here with us. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for having me back.
Awesome, awesome. Always a pleasure to have you in the building. Yeah, yeah. Oh man. So I got to admit, those late night shows, they're kind of bringing me back to my days of old when I would just stay up and listen to music and jam with people and like just have a good time. So like kudos to those mixes that you're putting on. That's
Great.
that's yeah.
Oh, the Twitch mixes.
Yes,
The
yes.
spell _ music. Yes.
Yes. And make sure you follow them at. You got that? I'll get that.
I'm still waiting for Facebook to not stop being a wuss.
Oh yeah, Facebook's such a.
Wuss?
So we got their Twitch right here. I'm not even gonna hate. There we go. So add that Twitch. Y'all tune in for some music. When do you spin again? I know it's at 9 to like 1.
So I'm going to probably be doing Thursdays and Sundays. I was doing Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, but Tuesday it was it's a hard night to get viewers. But Sundays have been doing pretty well.
Okay.
I actually picked up a bartending side gig just to try and make ends meet. So I had to take a couple of Sundays off, but I'll be back on Sundays spinning some real dark music.
Nice.
It's sad you have to take a job, but at least you can. There's like nothing here. We're still in a lockdown.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like the bars have finally started to open up. There's still a mask mandate. There's still social distancing, but especially the younger generation doesn't slow them down. So I would expect the bars and nightclubs in Cleveland to be full blow by Memorial Day.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we're at a stay-at-home order right now.
Yep.
Still.
Until
you
the
can't even go
23rd.
into Walmart and not to buy clothing. It's not essential. You have to to place an order online to pick it up. You can't go in the store to buy it.
So
are they doing that with the seeds too for your garden? Are you allowed to buy those?
Gardening's allowed. Like you're allowed to go buy gardening stuff, but it's I don't know. It's a crazy time, right? Until like you guys are way ahead of us in vaccines wise, so I can see opening up more because you have more of the population is vaccinated compared to ours.
I won't even be eligible. I won't even be eligible for mine for another 2-3 weeks. 3 weeks. May 17th.
I chose not to jump the line, so I only just got mine.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the option. So
I was like, I chose not to take it because I don't. We had that conversation a couple of weeks ago on Candid Conversation. I don't brag about my heritage much because of the way the government treated my heritage. So.
Yeah, we could have a whole conversation about that in itself.
I'm sure.
And the back and forth.
We're here about Scott and that awesome song that we just hear in the opening. That you guys just did vocals, just finished vocals. You said.
Yeah, we did like 9 hours, like a 9-hour marathon vocal session, and Raven C just came in here and just knocked it out of the park. Like her voice is as strong as ever. She's actually training with the vocal coach, Lady Gaga's vocal coach, actually.
Yeah. That's
epic.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. When she told me that, I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy. He's expensive, but she's just going for it. So like, how fortunate are we,
Yeah.
He taught Gaga a lot of different pitch changes and everything. Like, she's a phenomenal singer. Go away from the pop stuff. Like, just her singing now is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that's phenomenal. That's great.
A legend in her own right.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this now. I'm really excited. Like, even listening to the EP that you've been giving away is like great. Her vocals.
I know. I know the one. I don't remember the name of the song. I think it was on the Enter the Inferno.
Sure. Journey to
Yeah.
Limbo.
It was the one. It had Inferno in the title. It had
Okay.
Inferno. Let me double check.
One of them's a ballad, and then one of them's like a rocker with guitar and stuff. So
it was the ballad. I think it was the
Oh,
ballad.
okay.
That one was like, it was enchanting.
Yeah, that was Glacius Heresy, which was she recorded it in South Africa, and her roommate was a piano player whose dad is a Grammy-winning sound engineer in South Africa. So he mixed it down for us. She played the piano. It was like way beyond my expectations when that came out. And yeah, this whole journey has just been like little good luck cookies from the universe. So I'm taking those as green lights. Just keep going, you know, even though it's a slow process. It's one fan a day, one like a day, one more new subscriber a day. But you know, there's no quick fix, so you have to earn it.
Especially
To get to a million, you got to start at one. So
yeah,
you know,
I can't wait for this. This is one of the albums I'm waiting for, to be honest, from the indie scene.
Appreciate it.
This, like, you guys affects me very. The other one I was waiting for was Johnny Armani, but he dropped his mixtape.
Okay.
So much indie music coming out that I can't wait to hear.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And your stuff too. I still owe you a drum track, so
I'm working on it. If I remember correctly, it looked like Charlotte just sent me. They wanted a bunch of stuff. I sent it off to them, and we've been bouncing ideas back and forth. And
oh, great!
I'm hoping a couple of months get that out too, right? And have some decent promo for it.
There's a lot.
The one thing I'm learning is music is a collaboration across the board. So, you know, the more teamwork involved, the better it is for everybody involved.
Well, the different people, different insights, different looks, different outlooks. You might think of something one way, and somebody else will be like, "Hey, why don't you try that way?" And you'd be like, "Hey, that works. I never would have thought of it." Egos get checked. The music turns beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's an understatement.
It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing.
A lot of my friends in the States that are doing music right now are, you know, they're able to do stuff and move around and do it and get it going, right? Which sucks for here. Can't do squat.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys are still on such a hard lockdown. I mean, obviously there's some individual states here where there's not even any mask mandates, like Florida and Texas. It's just like back to complete freedoms.
No, we didn't act quickly enough. We didn't act harshly enough. We didn't act intelligently enough. And I'm saying we because I like, you know what I mean? I can't place the blame when something goes wrong and then take the responsibility when something goes right. So I don't think as a country really we did enough because we are used to our ways. Like we're spoiled. I'll admit it. We're a very spoiled country. We like certain things a certain way, and everybody does, but like the way it is up here, the way of life is up here, the expeditious nature of things, we don't want to have to wait for anything. We don't want anyone to tell us what to do. We just want to do it. And I think that attitude put us further back, because if we had just all made the sacrifice around March break or Easter or Christmas
last year
or Easter, you know what I mean?
Would have been quicker, but yeah,
we would have been well out of this. But nobody's really the masses aren't really listening effectively enough. So here we are again.
It is what it is.
Here we are again.
I can only do.
But yeah,
me. But
hey, I don't like. It's a hard pill to swallow. You go from being able to run about everywhere doing anything, and then all of a sudden it's just like, nah, you can't do nothing, nowhere, nada.
Yeah, our border's still closed. We won't be able to go down to the States. They're saying maybe next year if we're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
I did just talk to what was it? I talked to a promoter in Germany who we were thinking about booking a tour with, and he says they're in real hard lockdown still. Nightclubs allowed to do anything, so yeah, it's tough times.
India's in a complete lockdown right now. They're reporting like 400,000 a day.
Oh, India?
Yep.
Yeah. What was it like?
Yep.
34 variants came on a plane over here from there.
Yep.
Some shit like that.
That's just weird because they were on the hydrochloroquine early and doing really well. So I don't know if they ran out or if this is just like the slums or something. I'm not sure what's going on, but like they were on top of it early.
Yeah.
But they do have like 1 billion people there. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I actually had to reach out to a friend of mine in Mumbai and make sure he was okay because he kind of went radio silent for a while, and I'm like, damn, these headlines. I got to touch out and see what.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, we're just staying at home doing nothing. Like we're not allowed to do anything.
Wow.
But he's written off the whole next year for his music career. He says maybe 2023 if he's lucky.
It's terrible.
Right? So
I mean, 2023. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right? Well,
yeah.
I had season tickets for our local basketball team, the Niagara River Lions. Shout out to the River Lions. What up, Luke? I see you. But yeah, no, we had to push it back. Last year we pushed it back to this year. This year they're like, you might have to push it back till next year. So now I'm just like, okay, there's a chunk of money just sitting in an account somewhere that I have no access to. What am I gonna do?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like I want to take it back, but I more so want to support the cause and be involved. It was honestly, it was some of the best basketball I've been personally witness to, and like the team treated me so well when I was able to go there to like when I was there on the bus, and then I got to shoot from half court. There was a contest. There was a contest. But held by Hub Insurance, who just so happened to be my insurance company. And one day we were sitting there, and every time I went there, I must have went like 4 or 5 times, and every time I went, I'd fill it in, and I'm just like, whatever. There's like 10,000, 15,000 people here. They're not gonna pick me. So then the 3rd or 4th time I went, and like before even signing up, okay, I have to preface this, and I know it's like just to give you a random story. I was shooting basketballs from half court at the YMCA, and my wife would ask me every time, why are you shooting from half court? And I said, you never know, there might be some contest where I get to shoot from half court. Fast forward to this. So I'm there, and like they say the contest is you get to shoot from half court. So I go to sign up, and I look at my wife hard because it's like what I said happening, and that doesn't often happen when it comes to what she says. It's like what she says happens, and then I get to watch her saying happening. It's not.
Oh, he'll say something and she'll correct them.
So I'm there, and I'm like, okay, this is my time, all right. So I'm wearing my those old school pumps, the old school Reebok pumps. I got a pair of those. I got a pair of those on. I am ready to go. So all of a sudden, they put up my seat on the board. I'm like, nah. They come around and they get me, and I'm like, nah. They walk me all the way around the basketball court all the way around the arena onto the basketball court. I'm like, this shit is about to happen. I've been practicing for this motherfucker for months. So they give me the ball. I get to center court. I bend over. I pump up my shoes. One of the guys that sees me shoot the basketball at the YMCA is sitting half court, hollering at me. So like this is universal stuff happening right now.
Right.
So then I get there, I bounce the ball twice, and I shoot the ball, and all you hear is the crowd go, oh, and it goes, and it hits the rim, and it bounces up, and it goes to the right, and it goes nowhere close to the net. And then you hear, oh, and I'm just like, fuck. But I was the closest person to the net the whole season. I was the only person. I was the only person to hit the rim all season. So I took that, and the adulation that I got when I was going back to my seat, it was just like, I need something like this in my life again. So yeah. That was just one of those random things that I never thought was going to happen and happened to me. Like, you know, you prepare for it, like thinking, no, it's not going to happen to me. And then it happens. It's like, has anything like that ever happened to you? Like those, oh my gosh, moments where you are training for it, but you kind of didn't expect it to happen?
Well, I think that's the whole point behind the band. I am waiting for that, opportunity from the universe.
Yeah.
And I know it's coming. We're going to be
Yes.
ready for it. So if that's 2022 or 2023, and I think that's kind of how things work. There's going to be opportunities are going to be far and few between moving forward, in my honest opinion. So when that moment's there, you got to grasp it.
Yep.
So who else is on the EP you're working on? Is it?
So what we did is we had a couple guest musicians, so which is a great time to shout out the guest musicians we worked for. There's a band in Germany called Maldoran, and they're like our brother band. Like they're into the knights and the armor and the chivalry and the medieval castles. So like their imagery is like spot on with ours. So we're like kindred bands. And that's originally how we met. We started talking, and then I asked him, "Hey, you want to do a couple guitar tracks?" And he was all for it. So he's got 2 songs on the upcoming Inferno album. Then there's a local bassist who I actually went to high school with, and he's got a band called Valkyrie X, and they're also a female-fronted band. Their singer's awesome. Oh, yeah. And I asked him, "Hey, you want to do some bass tracks?" So he came down and he did a couple tracks for us. And then our other singer, Sean, he plays bass as well, so he did some bass tracks. And then other than that, we had a guitarist from New Jersey, very talented guitarist, who like a flamenco style for one of our like acoustic renditions. So on this album, we kind of explored some really different soundscapes. And anybody who's heard our first album, Lore, will do like a sacred choral piece, and we'll do something like a delirium song, and then we'll do some gothic, and then we'll do some dark wave. So we kind of wanted to continue that, though overall this next album is a lot harder, a lot more gothic rock, gothic metal style. But we do have 2 acoustics that we wanted to put on there, like how Sabbath would do like an embryo or something, like an acoustic medieval sounding thing, which I always thought was just absolutely cool because it showed off their musicianship. And I'm old school. I like musicianship. I really appreciate people who've put the work into their instrument, and it's clearly obvious. I really appreciate that.
Okay, that's dope. Now this is a question that comes from Johnny Armani. I remember you mentioned earlier, and you were talking about people who put time and energy into their craft. How does being so close to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame affect the music that's produced out there?
That's a good question. It was kind of so political with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like Cleveland got it, but like for the first couple years, all the induction ceremonies were done in New York, which is a really weird thing. So it was like, oh, we have the building, but we don't get all the cool extra stuff. And like the people coming to the city, to stay, and all the stars and celebrities coming for the induction. Now that has since changed. But again, they have been reaching out and doing some outdoor local stuff. So I definitely have them on my radar, and I hope we get to the point where we can do a show at the Rock Hall, because that is definitely something I will make into a DVD.
I'm not gonna lie, I was supposed to be in Cleveland this April.
Okay.
Me and my wife were making a plan. We were going to make a plan to go to there's only really a couple of places in the States I want to visit. And, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, forget even how political it is, there's some cool stuff in that building. And I want to go check that out. We were going to go spend a week down around Cleveland and Toledo.
Okay. Well, this time when you make it, you can let me know and we'll hang out. So
definitely.
It's a really cool building. The architecture is unreal. The inside, there's like an area for like performances. And then there's like 3 floors, and then on the top floor there's a theater, and they do like free like seminars about music. And I seen like the guys from Devo in there talk, and just all these cool seminars. And like yeah, it's a really cool thing. You know, the only thing is that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is up here, and most of the bands in Cleveland are still down here in the gutter trying to make it, you know. And the one thing that's changed in the music industry is there is no middle ground anymore. You're down here or you're up here. So, but we have the internet now, so that's going to be the great equalizer. And that's why marketing is so important for bands now, is to get up to that upper echelon. I think the bottom line is you need to get noticed for the music industry to really take an interest in you.
Yep. That, or you make your own industry with their own fans and your own everything. Like,
absolutely.
That's the good thing about the internet, is you can make your own fan base. You can make your own everything. You don't need that major label.
That's true. I know we're not there yet, but I certainly know bands like there's a band called Mute Prophet from Minnesota, and they've reached that level where they're selling like 25 CDs a day online consistently.
Yeah, there's a Canadian rap artist that literally gets millions of views on any video he pops out within 2 to 3 days. He's, still selling 40,000 hand-signed CDs that he prints and presses and sells out. Like it's amazing. If you do the marketing right, you can get there without having to have a major backer.
And the marketing is harder than the music, in my opinion.
Yes. It is. Yes. It is.
But you guys are doing the marketing right now, so it's like it's a learning process for sure.
Marketing and branding and all the things that tie into having one label seen in many different places. It's fun at times. It's like a puzzle, really. It really is. But the challenge is like maintaining consistency while being different at the same time. It's like you can't give them the same thing all the time and expect them to want it, kind of thing. You got to give some variance. So
saturate, but not over.
Yeah.
It gets boring after a while. It's kind of hard. It's a balancing act. It's frustrating. Like you said, a like here, a like there, a view here. Like it's disheartening sometimes if you actually look at the numbers, and I try not to. I honestly don't.
There's some numbers I look at. I have to. You see, certain people, not directly mentioning Jay or anything, brought it up to my attention that I don't have global analytics on my website. So I went out and I got global analytics on my website. Now I have a good percentage, and I want to shout out a lot of Canada checks out what I'm doing. I didn't realize there was that much attention up here. I thought it was going to be from somewhere else. I got like Tunisia or Tunisia or something like that. Like it's global. There's places that are, and when you see that, then you can see, okay, this place likes my music. What kind of music is out there? Okay, I'm gonna make a song that sounds something similar to this because that's what they're playing out there. Where before that, all I knew was like, I launched on December 29th. It's April 29th I have like 11,500 views on the website in total.
That's great.
So yeah, that is something that is like, it's in your face marketing. That's, QR codes.
The magazines that we've all been in.
Yeah,
those zines that you do, we keep pushing.
Yeah,
the QR codes we keep pushing.
Yep, it's a little bit of a little bit of everything goes a long way. So there's oh yeah, we plug you all the time. We talk about you like
you. I don't think there's an episode like no word of a lie, Scott. We have this captions list, right? Where, as you see in the bottom left-hand corner, you are permanently in there with a few other bands that we really like.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Much respect. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. You were one of the first to come on the show
just as much as we do, so why not?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Anytime we've said, "Hey, you want to be on?" You're like, "Okay, give me the time and date. This is what I got. I'll be there." And you're there, like you're there.
Yeah.
Well, I think we all share something in common is we love music so much. We want more of it in our life, and we're not getting enough of it, so we create it ourselves. This is what I want, so I'm just going to do it myself, and then I'll be surrounded by it, you know?
Well, the way me and David look at it, we've talked to, in the last 6 months, had to be at least minimum 100 artists, minimum.
If not, somewhere around
more.
that number.
Yeah, if not more. But we figure out who really wants to do something within, a day.
That's
And
on
out of
and
that
off
100, I
screen.
think we're down to maybe 30 that, are constantly in contact and constantly wanting to do something, constantly saying, okay, we're doing this. So it's easy for us to say, yeah, check these guys out. They're doing something. Check these guys out. They're doing this. Look at what they're doing over. You know what I mean?
And everybody offers something.
Yeah.
Everybody offers something that benefits the next person too. You know what I mean? Like you were talking about earlier with your singer being a guitar player as well, and then a bassist from Germany. So it's like it's orchestral in a sense, the way we can come together and make things happen. Like man, I get excited. I get the chills sometimes thinking about. I'm not even focused on COVID right now. I understand it's an element of what's happening in life, but like it's still not. I'm not letting it be the thing that stops me from accomplishing my feat. So I'm looking past it in the sense of like when we figure it out, because we figured everything else out. We figured out technology. We figured out automation. We figured out agriculture. We could figure this out. You know what I mean? When we figured it out, then we can move forward onto bigger and better things. What were you going to say, Jay?
Oh, I was just gonna say it's just great to see all these bands that normally won't do things together because they're busy with their own schedule, or all of a sudden they have time to work with other people from around the world. Like I'm excited to hear what the Germany influence is gonna sound like, because they are so different compared to like the U.S. influence of the music you do or the Canadian influence of the music you do. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be great. I'm enjoying the mashups that are happening with a lot of the independent bands and middle tier bands, as I like to call them, the ones that you know their names, but they don't sell out 70,000 seats. You can still see them in a 300 person venue type of place that are working with everybody. It's like it's a great time, I think.
Sure, and like you just said, out of 100 bands, maybe 30 of them are really dedicated to the craft, to the point where they're going to work harder than any sane person would, which is what it takes to make it in the music industry, or to even have a chance to make it in the music industry.
But during a time nobody wants to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I know bands that have said, "Oh, we're done now. COVID killed us." Really?
Oh yeah? Okay.
Wow.
Thanks. That's one less person I have to worry about. Thank you.
Were you really a band in the first place?
Right?
Right.
Like
yeah.
I get excited when I new independent music coming out because it's going to be so different than what's on the radio.
Yep.
I get excited for it. Like my music collection is more independent music than it is CD music now.
People ask me all the time, "Oh, have you heard this song?" It's like it's a commercial. If it sounds like it's one of those songs that have been on the radio, I'm probably gonna say no. Like unless I heard it I listen to the underground, because it's almost like watching that AAA league player. You know what I mean? They fight harder. I find they fight harder sometimes while they're establishing themselves, and then when they get established, they kind of ease up or feather the pedal a little bit. That could be just me and my perspective, but that's just what I've noticed with some things. So, I mean, and the underground's hungry. There's a lot of people, gigabytes of music I've collected over the years. I mean, I just got a gigabyte plus from your catalog with the Dispel album special. Check out dispelmusic.com. There we go. Check out dispelmusic.com and get that album special. I mean, like you got an eclectic array of compositions that can just alter the mind state. Like I was sitting here yesterday, and no, not yesterday, Saturday, and there's that like the intro. There was an intro song, an instrumental on the album, and I just like the way it was played. It was just majestic, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this as my talking piece right here, and I'm gonna gradually ascend as the music does, and then hit the climax, and then gonna transition out, and then as the song was fading out, it was like a like a like a somber kind of thing. I hit him with another song that was like a punch in the teeth. So
Right,
I kind of just lulled them in, and then just boom, hit him with it. So it was just it's a nice transitional piece.
It's a
Like
great. I've enjoyed it. It's just I'm horrible with names, so sue me.
Yeah.
But I just like to put music on and just sit there. Like when you do the live streams, usually I'm lying in bed watching like have the TV on mute, and I just have my phone sitting right beside my ear so I can hear it without bothering the wife, and I just kind of veg. Or I'll be playing some video games and I'll have it on, just listening to it while I'm playing, just relaxing. And like last time I was able to get on was when my daughter went into labor, and it was just like it was great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
40 hours of labor she went through.
Wow. Yeah, I remember I was streaming on Twitch, and I'm like, "What are you up to?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for my granddaughter to be born." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that answer, but that's awesome. She's healthy and everything.
Oh yes. Oh hell yeah.
Good stuff.
Great.
Yeah. And it's nice that she's nice and close. Oh, I'm trying.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Dave, I really liked your analogy, how you're talking about like AAA players like busting their hump to get to the next level. And like the creativity is in the underground. That's where it's at. That's where everybody's hungry and stuff. And I definitely feel like, we're there. It's just I've been in the underground for 30 years. So it's like just still grinding away. I guess I'm not tempered enough. So keep grinding,
Well, I don't know, like
yeah, I enjoyed playing the little dives. I enjoyed playing little clubs. I enjoyed that kind of grind. I loved it. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed
performed in front of 3.
I enjoyed, bar hopping with a guitar on my back after we played a set, and played a couple of more bars on the way home because they had an open mic.
Nice.
Yeah, I performed in front of 3. I performed in front of 3,000, but I always give it my all. So it's like it's just I don't know. I think the underground. It's like, okay, we have up here in Canada, we have this grocery store called No Frills, and No Frills sells this product called No Name, and everybody gives No Name the hard time because it's no name, right? So they play on the fact that there's no brand to it. But No Name is the actual brand. So I say that to say the industry, the underground, is its own industry. It's just not as organized as the industry itself. If we were to,
If there was no underground, there'd be no industry. Like Gaga, where would she come from? She came from the clubs, playing in like the club kid days. If there was no club like underground for the club kids, there would be no Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. A lot of bands. Shit, the whole punk rock scene. The Ramones.
Yeah. If there was no CBGB,
Clash.
Take iconic places out. Like if there was no Sunset Strip, where would Motley Crue be?
Right.
It's the underground that makes pulp culture. It's just called pulp culture that decides to run with it way too long.
That's right. Or they turn around and homogenize it, and it just becomes kind of stale after that point. But yeah, in the underground, there's hunger, there's the creativity. Yeah, it's awesome. Which, I guess I just have to look at and enjoy the journey for sure. It was just so tough. You don't expect a worldwide plague to step in front of all these bands and be like, stop.
Right. And the States are booking for big festivals. What in fall, right? I've heard a bunch of tours announced.
Yeah, like months ago, it was like, oh, the music industry is going to open in April, which turned out to be overly optimistic. And then Yeah, I'm seeing some stuff about November and things like that. I don't know if I mentioned I reached out to a promoter in Germany, and he said they can't do anything until 2022. Like they're not even thinking about this whole year. They're not even thinking about it, not till next year. And I'm like, crap, that pushes things back another year. So I mean, we'll be promoting potentially our third album by then. Who knows?
Well, I know Arizona's opening up. They've opened up pretty much because a friend of the show, Tommy Gibbons, he's been doing some shows down there with his solo act. He's part of Wade Coda, and he plays with Farewell to Fear, and they're all doing shows in that now. Like he's done a few live streams of shows that he's done. So there is some states that are opening. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a window to go do something.
Yeah, I have seen some live shows here in Ohio. Most of them are underground clubs, and who cares about underground, we're just circling right back to why the underground's so important. But yeah, I mean, I've seen some metal shows. I've seen a bunch of shows. A lot of the smaller venues are doing like half capacity, putting out tables and chairs. So you have to buy your seats ahead of time. So it's like half capacity. You have to sit down and watch the show, but the musicians are ecstatic to be able to perform. And they get off stage and they still got that glow, and it's just like old times.
Yeah, nice. I don't know what's going on. Our lockdown's supposed to end May 20th.
Okay.
May 20th, so like, we're supposed to go camping.
Well, you should be able to go camping, for good Lord.
Oh, man, I bought a trailer just so I could go camping.
Oh, nice.
Anybody, so we'll see what the government does this fucking summer.
Well, I talked to TJ from the Boneyard, and he said there's all kinds of these great like forest parties and stuff happening. So,
yeah, but he forgot to mention also the charges and arresting that happens when they get busted.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, those like things right don't go over as well as
going on. It's not just an order; it's an actual bylaw.
Yeah, they put it in place. They've been jacking up these laws. They put steroids into these laws nowadays. They had to retract a few of them, but not the laws, but they had to retract a few statements relative to the laws. But they are giving these bylaw officers and police some serious authority up here because of the way things are happening. It's fucked.
Yeah, that's I think that's a worldwide phenomenon. But it just depends what level of the what's the word I'm looking for? Which authorities get it. Yeah. Like, because they're diminishing the police here in the States, but like, the people above them have a lot of power. So, but that's governments, and that's how it's always been. So,
isn't that the Rangers? Like, are the Rangers above the police out there? If I'm not mistaken,
sheriffs.
Sheriffs.
But the sheriffs are good. Sheriffs are good. They're like constitutionalists.
Okay.
They're like our last hope.
They're before like our PMP, like our Mounties.
But I see a totalitarian future, unfortunately. It just depends how soon we get there, but it's coming.
Yeah, they're trying to force cashless society on us for sure. For sure. That's the other day I gave someone a $5 bill. They looked at me like I was handing them the disease. It's just like, wait a minute. Like, since when is money not good? Sterilize that. You can put the damn alcohol right on that thing. What are you looking at me like that for?
Here's the thing in Canada, you legally can't turn down legal tender.
But tender's not legal, technically, so here we go.
In Canada, there is a law for it.
But it says this note is not legal tender. I could pull it out of my wallet and show you. Oh, man. Is that the bubbly? You know what? I noticed the difference without it. I did notice the difference without it.
I don't drink pop anymore. I drink bubbly water. Gives me all the fizz without the sugar.
The good stuff.
Yeah, when you get up in age, you got to cut out the sugar and try and get.
Yeah, I'm hit. My buddy's fighting kidney stones all the time. It's terrible.
I couldn't even, especially because I'm down to 1.5 kidney personally.
Okay.
and I'm fighting right now. When I got the shot, I started some meds for my kidneys, and it's wiped me. Like it's damn near killed me. The
Wow.
amount of pain it's pushed me into, but it's another day. My family worries about it more than I do. You can't worry about what's killing you because it's going to kill you faster because you won't be able to do anything.
Well, we're born to die. It's just a matter of what kills us.
Yeah, that's a positive outlook.
You know what I mean?
It's really the meaning of life.
It's like we know it's gonna happen. Like we just don't know when. So we might as well just ride it out until it does. Straight.
Trying to immortalize yourself through art before that happens, you know?
Exactly. Yep. Wow.
So what's coming up with the new magazine there? Is there a certain person that's on screen that's going to be part of it?
I mean, if you're asking if Scott from Dispel is going to be on in the magazine, then yes. I haven't gotten to read the whole response to what he said, but I do need to get a couple of pictures. But yes, we will have Scott from Dispel in the magazine, if not Dispel as an article. Yes, I actually asked about Dispel as a whole, so I'm reasoning the responses were relative to as much. We're not going to tell you. You're going to have to read the magazine coming out the next couple of weeks. Actually, it's 3 weeks. 2 weeks, and coming out in 2 weeks. It usually comes out the third week of the month, but because I was so excited about the last issue, I actually released it the second week of the month. So I'm going to maintain that excitement and release it the second week of the month because it makes more sense. You know,
they've also been coming a lot faster and quicker too, getting put together quicker, and a lot more people want to be involved with it, which is great.
Yeah.
The viewership's going up on each magazine too.
We're at over 800 views on issue 8, the most recent issue. Well, and I'm sure Charlotte and Kyle and the rest of Nick and Eric from FX May Vary have something to do with that. I just listed all of the people on that show for those who were paying attention to the contest that I had a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I like to use the magazine for contests and information sharing about people.
Well, hopefully issue 9 there is going to break 1,000. That'd be a nice record to break.
Yeah, we'll push it. We'll push it.
Hey,
it did make me realize how much I enjoy doing written interviews.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it, and the fact that you're doing an actual fanzine is pretty awesome.
Thank you very much.
Every episode, every zine that comes out, it is literally getting an extra 100, 200 more views per zine. So we're on trajectory to break 1,000 this one, or at least by the next one after. At least
this
the next
one in 2 weeks. Well, I mean, it still has another 2-week run, and it stays online indefinitely. After the month's over, I put it on the archives page. But as it is right now, if you give me a second, I can get you that number. But it's fun. It's like I get to learn so much about so many people. I get to dive into the world of, creatives, artists, businesses, and just like I get to learn so much more. And that's one of the fun parts about it. The understanding that I achieve where it comes to how certain elements of life function and how to improve. Yesterday we were talking about NFTs and investments, something that I'm not a professional on, but I'm interested in. So, that was something that was enlightening for me, and to be able to share that with other people through this zine. I mean, I didn't expect this response. I'm overwhelmed because, like I said, it's just doing something that I enjoy. I mean, last week we had 1,000 people on the website. Issue 8 has 876 visits as of today.
Keep going up every zine. It keeps going up and up and up and up.
Yep. Issue 7 had 758. Issue 6 had 699. Issue 5 had 705. So Yeah, issue 5 still has some push. But yeah,
What was in
it's
that episode?
issue 5. I think
Should
you've
be on
been
the back
on.
cover.
Yeah.
This was number
There you
3
go.
or 4 of the last one. Yeah, he
Yeah.
likes to seem to he likes my lyrics. That's some
It's
thought-provoking
diversity.
lyrics.
It's diversity. It's diversity. I don't like being the only opinion in there either. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, I can't wait to
if
read
I
what you got from Dispel. I can't wait to read it.
it's gonna be like I said. I got it. I logged it. I was just like, okay, I want to sit down. I want to absorb it. And because I knew I had this today, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna focus on today. I was doing a billboard earlier, so that kind of had my attention. I was talking to Lushy Bantan. He's a artist out of the States. Um, he's got this song called Black Lives Matter that we're pushing and promoting right now. So yeah, that's just one of the things I've been working on the side too. It's awesome. It's really awesome. So what song off your album are you really gonna push? Like what's the main song or the main song we can look for?
Well, that's a tough it's a tough call. Like we dropped two of the songs on Spotify. The acoustic song, which is Glacia's Heresy, about the Archduchess of the sixth layer of the Inferno of Hell. And so we had it be like hauntingly beautiful. And obviously Raven C's voice is perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did the Rocking Song, which features guitars from Maldurin from Germany, which is the second single, Journey to Limbo, which is the first song on the album, kind of a rocker, more gothic metal style song. Like I said, we just cut the vocals literally 2 days ago, and I just haven't sat down and digested them yet because yesterday we did a photo shoot, a music video, recorded a live set. So it's been an insane schedule.
She had to run back to Africa, didn't she?
Yeah, she's back to Jersey for about a week, and then she's back to Africa. She's finishing her thesis for her master's degree. And then she's going to do some charity work down in South Africa and in Kenya and Uganda. Mm-hmm. And then she's going to be coming back to the States. And by then, we'll be close to 2022. So hopefully we can do some live stuff. And it's really my job in the band is to line something up, and basically to line something worthwhile up for her time because she's so busy that it's got to be something worthwhile. And I was just lucky to get her into town, and we did like a year's worth of work in 2 days. It was pretty exhausting, but hey, you got to do it,
That's when the magic happens. So when you take a lot of work and you try and condense it as quickly as you can, usually the best stuff comes out because you don't got time for mistakes. You don't have time to go back and correct something. You have to go. Like some of the best albums that were done back in the day were like, here, you have a week. We want 12 songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where some of the best music comes from, in my opinion.
Pressure.
You don't have time to second guess, that's for sure.
I know. It's like, oh, that's pretty good. Let's go next.
Yeah.
I like the way that sounds. Okay, next.
Well, you don't have time to say, oh, we could do that better. No, that's I think we nailed it. Okay, we got some practice. Okay, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, some of the best albums of all time were like, what was it? Yeah. What album? There was an album that was recorded in like 4 days, 12 songs, start to finish. It took longer to master it than it did to record it.
Sure, right. Sure. And part of that, I knew that was coming. So literally for the last like 4 months, I had been like laying the groundwork. So when they're here, everything's ready to go. So it was kind of like, all right, in the studio, everything's set up, hit record. And then, I had to make the arrangements like, all right, we're going downtown. I got a photographer. we're doing this, this, and this. Everything was broken down. And Raven C and Sean, they just really bust their hump. They didn't miss a beat. They stepped up, they grinded out. They brought their A game. So it's like, I'm so fortunate to be working with such talented people. Because like any musician that was half that would have struggled. It would have been a struggle. Things would have got behind. So it was really kind of a miracle that we cranked it out. I was just like, wow, like she did 10 songs in one day, like vocals, like, and not like, not like singing, like she is belting some of this stuff out. And then she's like, oh, I want to do another take, or let's do, 3 more takes. And then I like getting a couple layers so I can layer vocals and stuff.
Yes.
And it was just a really impressive accomplishment.
A lot of vocal stress.
Yeah. So now it's my job to get it out there. I've got to get it heard. I've got to get it discovered. We want to share it with people. So that's the next step. So I just been taking all these music marketing courses, and like you said, David, it's like a puzzle piece. You got to figure out what's the path that's going to work for you. How are you going to reach your fans that are going to resonate to it?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we can, we push you guys onto everybody. Everybody.
Yeah, like
we got a few more fans for you from up here, for sure.
You guys are like our favorite sauce. Soulicious pepper sauce. Hit them with it. Soulicious pepper sauce. So worth the heat. All right.
Nice. I knew that segue was coming.
Yeah, but you said you guys did a live set that you recorded?
Yeah, we recorded a live set. It was our first time playing together live. We really didn't even have a chance to rehearse. She's like, you've got me till 6 p.m. And it was like 4 p.m. And I'm like, all right, well, let's get everything set up. And then we just recorded. I had automated all the lights. I think I showed you before. I had that DMXIS box.
Yeah.
So I pre-programmed all the light show and just hit play and let it go. And then I recorded it from OBS Studios into a hard drive. I haven't even had a chance to watch it, so hopefully it came out, and then I'll edit it down and we'll stream it on Twitch.
Oh, nice. You gotta head us on that. I want to check that out for sure.
Yeah, so we're shooting for May 22nd, which is World Goth Day. We're gonna host a concert for Broken Sound Tapes out of North Carolina, and all these bands that were on the Unearthed compilation. It's going to be the show of the Unearthed Top compilation for World Goth Day. So bunch of cool bands on there. So everybody's going to be sending me their videos and stuff, and I'll put it together and host it. And yeah, there's the Twitch link right there. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do, because there's going to be some serious content being pushed out through there for sure.
I think I was your first sub. Or at least that's what Twitch tells me. Every time I put something in your comments, it says #1 right beside my name.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, let me know so I could share the link. Like when it's coming, let me know.
Okay.
So I can share the posts. So I try and. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to catch some of the posts that go across my feed, but every time I see Dispel, I definitely try and push it out there.
Cool.
Because it's right up there with the music I like to listen to, anyways. Like I said, your show, I love just putting your show on while I'm doing stuff and just listening to them. It reminds me of like so much from back in the day with the clubs and that. When I was
it's really cool how like the dark wave scene and goth has kind of come full circle, and you can hear so many like 80s new wave elements in it, and the death rock elements are coming back, and that's the stuff I love. It's just hard to find.
And also like that 90s vibe, some of the stuff that you play has to it, like the typo negative type of vibe. And
yeah,
it's great. I enjoy it. It's calming. It's relaxing.
That's what I'm saying.
Some of the stuff you've played reminds me of the old Danzig stuff from back then. You know how the Gods killing that when he did that more symphonic kind of gothic album, or his Black Arias.
Okay.
The first one was amazing. Where he did a whole orchestra type album.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like that darker horror punk and death rock and stuff. Just because it's dark, I don't know, for whatever reason it resonates with me, so I got to stick with it.
Why not? If you like it, why not?
Go with what
Don't
works,
change
right?
who you are, right?
Unless it's for the better. There's no reason.
It's music,
Straight up.
man.
Absolutely.
The more you listen to, the better it is, in my opinion. But I can't wait. So when do you
I
go
can't
live
believe you
again?
guys are still on a hard lockdown. Man, that's crazy.
Hard lockdown.
Crazy.
Like, oh my gosh, it's like when I go out as a family, people look at us hard.
Yeah.
Like, why are all of you out at the same time? Like, shouldn't like it's like wow. It's crazy.
Is the government helping like the small businesses at all, like restaurants and stuff?
Yes and no.
Barely.
We'll say yes and no.
I said barely. I'll call it like it is.
Like right now, our federal government's trying to push through a universal income for everybody in Canada, which would be $2,000 a head.
That's a month.
Yep. Regardless of what you have to make, I think, under 150,000.
Okay, so if you make 90,000 a year, you're also getting that extra 200,000 that 2,000 a month on top of that.
Apparently.
Okay.
But it would bump poverty. It would bump the poverty out of poverty.
Yeah, 2,000 a month is still poverty.
Yeah, but it still does not account. Like, say somebody, because our welfare system, it won't account against that, so they can't subtract it against the welfare. So, say, like somebody that's on disability here, a single person makes about $1,200 a month from disability, so that 2,000 would be on top of that. So they'd be up to 3,200.
Okay.
So that would bump them out of poverty, because our poverty line is 24,000 here.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, he just kind of jumped out, but he'll pop back in. But yeah, it is it's up for debate. It's a complicated situation because the higher ups don't really want their taxes to go towards putting people higher up than themselves, and it's a complicated thing. I think it would help a lot of people out of a lot of turmoil. There we go. But it's not just my opinion that matters in this. Everybody has to kind of voice their say. I think one of the MPs was bringing like 44,000 signatures in the other day. So
interesting.
Yeah.
We've heard rumors about it here, but if they're talking about it actively up north, which I didn't know, then it's coming here next.
Actually,
for
it was
sure.
on the common floors yesterday. It started on the commons yesterday.
Wow. Because what they're talking about now is massive tax increases across the board here right now. So things are going to get pretty crazy.
When this all started, our federal government handed out 2,000 a head. I think they handed out a total of $16,000 to any individual that qualified. At the beginning of this, 16 or 18,000.
Yeah.
And it proved that it worked because our economy didn't start flailing until recently.
Which is when they put an end to it.
Yeah.
And that was like that was like unemployment, or if you were employed, you still got it.
Yep. If you're employed, if COVID bothered you in any means, shapes, or form, you could apply for it. All you had to do was make $5,000 the year before.
Okay.
And it was $2,000 a month for, I think it was 6 months, 8 months, something like that. And it kept our economy strong during the start of this because it proved that, the income support actually helped. People went out and spent money. People went out and, distributed money back into the everything.
Okay.
And it kept our economy going good until recently when they stopped it. And now our unemployment pays about $900 every 2 weeks right now across the board for anybody that gets their hours cut down or loses their job. So $1,800 a month.
So you guys are dishing out a little more than we're getting, but it sounds like about the same thing. It's just the weird thing was like for me and most of the people I know were gig workers. So we're doing band gigs or DJ gigs, or I know all the bartenders and people that work at the bars. We had nothing, but then there was other people that were still working and getting the assistance too, but they didn't really need it. So it was kind of like a really weird thing. Like there was like my group of people who definitely needed it and didn't always get it. And then there was the people that really didn't need it. They would get it and then spend it on a TV, a new TV or something.
Yeah. And
so
then
it was kind of a weird thing.
Then you got the people that were collecting double.
Yep. That collecting money they didn't need at all.
Yep. From both, because they had the EI, and then you had the CERB benefit, which is what it was called. That's a $2,000, and both of them were $2,000. And you had people that were collecting $4,000 because of glitches and just running with it. So, yeah, this tax season's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
This tax
it's so crazy. It's like a testament of how world changing this is, because we're on like a music show, and it's like there's this beast that we have to deal with. It's just crazy.
Trying to survive and trying to actually make music and try and make some pocket change like we used to. Like it's insane. Like
I think like in the States, like 30% of the restaurants have closed and failed, like done. 30%.
That's too much. That's way too much.
No. We've had venues closed just because, like, say in like Toronto, which is our biggest city in Canada, rent for like say a club could be anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 a month.
We've had gyms close out here.
Gyms, yeah.
Like the YMCA has closed in Niagara Falls and St. Catharines. What else? There's a couple of things that have just gone belly up. A couple of this one flea market that I used to go out to in Ajax, the Pickering Flea Market, that belly up.
That was for a while.
Yeah, but like
the YMCA is another thing. They're paying $5 to $7 million for a CEO for a nonprofit. Please tell me how that's nonprofit.
Because they don't have any money to show for it at the end, but that's just the way they run the books.
Too busy paying everybody.
Well, I mean, I don't.
Sounds like our school system,
right?
Oh, the school system. We got. The Sunshine List. You guys have a Sunshine List down there? It's basically a list of people who make over $1 million or over 6 figures, over 5 figures. Yeah, and a few of them are teachers. You know what? I see what they go through. Personally speaking, I'm not taking away from any teacher. I'm just saying, like, if you make more than I do, and you're like you make more than I do, and you're responsible for the well-being of the children. If you're doing it for the children, the money shouldn't matter. And there's other ways to acquire the resources.
Are making almost $200,000 a year.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like my aunt's a teacher. Her house is pretty. You know what right. And I'm not knocking or faulting her, because my linguistics are as such partially because of her direction. So
when I was in elementary school, my grade 7 teacher was driving around in a '68 Jaguar. And that back then that was a classic.
Yeah.
So, and I had gym teachers that were driving around in Corvettes.
Yeah, so did I.
But back then that was even more outlandish than now.
90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, no, it was up there. It was up there. I remember my gym teacher, he drove a Ram. But he could throw a football from one side of the basketball court to the other side of the basketball court and get it in the net.
All right.
Well, nowadays, my daughter has to move out of the city she lives in because she can't, with what they make, they can't afford to buy a house where they live.
Okay.
In Toronto? Was it in Toronto?
And they're making $150,000-ish a year, and they can't buy a house in the city they live in.
No, that's Toronto, bro.
Yeah, the average price is $1.2 million for a fixer.
I was paying almost $1,400 for a 3-bedroom apartment. You know how much I'm paying out here? Not
Wow.
even. Yeah, for
My
per month.
daughter just dropped 30 grand for a year's worth of rent.
Okay, so she's paying like
2,500 plus utilities.
yeah, that's nuts.
That's like a mortgage on a very nice place. At
That's what
least
I'm.
here.
Not here. Not
That's
here.
what I'm saying, fam. No, 2,500 is a decent mortgage out here. Out here, like in Niagara, but like, nah. That's what I'm saying. I just
I look across the border, I could buy a 5-bedroom house for 10 grand.
There's a place. My friend moved over to Nova Scotia. He got a nice piece of land for like $50K. Like he made a 40 by like I think it was like a 40 by 60 rink in his backyard.
Niagara, New York is insane, but driving through there, I wouldn't want to live there because I've watched them board up schools and churches.
Well, there's going to be more of that coming.
Yeah.
Right now, like all the raw materials, like plywood, like before COVID, plywood was $8. Right now, it's $40. A piece
Only
of plywood
40?
is $40.
$129 here.
$129.
Oh my, yo!
The cheap stuff is $96.
Wow! Hold on, my brain is going boom. Like,
and here's the funny thing: most of that wood is made in Canada.
Don't even get me started on that shit. Don't even get me started.
I used to work in the wood industry. I used to work for one of the largest veneer and wood companies. They own 75% of the wood industry in the world. And it's amazing that like we would get, they actually bought, I think it was 74 hectares of New York State protected wood. The governor sold it to them to ship it up to Canada to process it and then bring it back down.
Protected, huh?
Yep. It was only protected until the green bills outweighed it. And that was making veneer. By the time the veneer would leave the station I worked at, each load was about 1,500 pounds and worth just over $1 million a load. And we were pushing out 15 of them a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know your lumber then, so housing prices are going to go through the roof. If you're going to build, it's going to be really expensive.
Yeah, my daughter, well, by the end of this year, they're going to have enough to actually probably get a good $700,000 house, but they're looking for a fixer-upper just because, it's going to be a little cheaper. It's going to be a little, less.
Just make sure the foundation's stable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, trust me. We already have a master builder going around with her and everything. He has his, 10,000 hours plus in, so he can go in, look at a foundation, and go, "This is a poured wall," without even, knowing anything more than the year. So, but no, it's just insane. Like these houses that were popping up here were 300,000. All of a sudden, they change the signs. Now they say 600.
Yep. Yep. When they start building, when they start pouring the foundation, it's like 180, 200. By the time that foundation is poured, it's like 230, 250. When they get those beams going up, it's like 320, 400. And then by the time the shit has its outside on, you're looking at $600,000, $800,000. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. A wartime home where I live that won't even fit a double bed inside the master bedroom goes for $400,000.
And that's like just outside of Toronto?
No, that's in Niagara Falls.
So like about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
well, the way Jay drives like an hour. But give or take.
I'll tell you exactly how far we are from Cleveland. I know it's not far because it was like a day trip I could do because I want to go to Toledo.
It's like 3 to 5 hours or something like that.
Probably 2.5.
3 hours and 27 minutes right now.
Okay, 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I said 3 to 5 because traffic.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now, is there like a mass exodus out of Toronto right now, or no? Okay.
No. 20% of our population sits around Toronto. Of all of Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's 37 million people in Canada.
Yep. Like 15
and 20% of it
Toronto.
sits in what they call the GTA, the General Toronto Area.
Wow.
Greater Toronto Halton area now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Toronto is a good 10% of the complete population, just the city itself.
Holding about 12 million people, something like that.
Yeah. So, but Toronto itself is 3.7 million, roughly, just the city itself, not counting the surrounding area.
Okay.
When I left there, it was just under 3 million. I was 26 when I left the city.
It was at like 4.2 when I left. So
yeah, so it's insane. It's a massive population in a small area.
Yeah,
like
and a lot of it's by the shoreline.
Yeah, even South Central's more aired out than Toronto is. Like California, like it's insane. It's just a mass dense population, and then
when California builds outwards, right? Toronto builds upwards. It's like, okay, this building has 20 floors. Yeah, well, I like the way that land looks. We're gonna put 50 floors right beside you.
Yep, that's our skyline right now. Is just condos that are 50 stories high.
Yep.
It's just
interesting. Yeah, I was there. Geez, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I went there to see Ghost and Iron Maiden at the Budweiser Arena or whatever it was outside
on the lakefront there.
Yeah, it was really cool. I really liked the city.
I wouldn't move back there. I don't have any reason now to go back there at all because my daughter moved out of the city, and I was born and raised there. I've just, it's just too much for me now. Like it's just too overpopulated for my liking.
And people don't know how to drive proper. It's ridiculous. I become a completely different demon when I'm in Toronto. Like, you see how I'm placid right now, kind of thing. I am like this in Toronto, just like, oh my god, why are you doing that? Like, do you know how to drive? It's crazy. Like, people are trying to overtake you.
4x4 fucking copper colored Ram, and I almost get sideswiped by like Hondas.
That's why I drive a family van, because people actually take consideration for that shit.
I've been rear-ended by more vans than I have anything else.
Well, hey,
that's why there's a trailer hitting my van on my truck that doesn't come off. If you're gonna rear end me, you're gonna lose the whole front end of your engine.
Well, I know I haven't hit nobody with my van, so I'm good like that.
But no, it's amazing. And if you go an hour and a half north of Toronto, it's like small towns, 10,000 people. Go 2.5 hours, you got towns that are maybe, a couple of thousand. Another half hour, 45 minutes from there, a couple of hundred. Like nobody's moving north.
No.
Down to the
Except
city.
the people that don't like the people in the south.
Well, I moved from Toronto to a village of 400 people. I think they were counting the cows. Because at 5 o'clock, you couldn't even buy a drink.
Yeah, I'm sure if you'd have put me in that same village, there would be some kind of civil unrest. Just like, I'm driving down the street, every head is turning, just like, what is that?
Actually, no. In the town over, we used to have a reggae night, because you can remember we were in the middle of farm country where migrant workers come up and work because the locals wouldn't do the job, so they have to bring them in from elsewhere. There's actually, last time I was up there, it was the same 22 Jamaicans that would come up every summer, work the farms, and then go back down. And that's actually a whole industry in Canada. Migrant workers that will come up and they'll go work the fields of picking stones.
My cousin's a migrant worker. I know all about it.
Yeah. Like it's a whole industry, and it's actually crashing this year.
Yeah, because of COVID.
Yep.
Again,
There's farmers that are like,
going
there's
full
one
circle.
farmer, he says that he has to throw out 29 acres of asparagus because there's nobody that wants to come pick it. And he can't get his migrant workers in.
Well, you see, that's where you see that I don't agree with that because there's enough people here to do
but
the
nobody
work.
will do these jobs. I've done these
I
jobs.
understand.
I never want to do them again.
I've done them before too. But like, there's nothing saying they can't be done by the people here. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about earlier with people being too comfortable and too spoiled to do grunt work. You know what I mean? Like, you got to eat. You got to find some way. Like some of these kids, some of these rebellious kids that are out there, you know what I mean, talking all that sauce to their parents and all that stuff. Get their ass on their farm. You get picking that asparagus right now. Now you ain't picking none of it. You ain't getting home till you pick your weight in asparagus. I don't give a damn. You want to talk to me like I'm something? Give me one of them asparagus farms and like 20 of them children. I had that shit picked overnight.
See, when I left Toronto, we moved to a hobby farm where we had goats and we had like our own animals that we had to take care of. We were up at 4 a.m. and that's how my kids grew up for the first 10 years of their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I was on the farm I remember being on the farm from I was like 4 years old till I was maybe like 12, 15 or something like that. It was some of the most fun I had in my life because I was out in the open air and food was there all the time. Like, what more do you need? Fresh air and food. Like, come on. So, and then like the family was there too. We had all kinds of fun. Like, we'd sometimes go down a caravan of us, like literally a caravan, 5, 8 cars, just drive down to St. Catharines. We go cherry picking, peach picking, apple picking, you name it. And it was fun. So I guess that's why my perspective of the farm is different. But like asparagus is probably something low to the ground or some shit. I want nothing to do with that at my height right now. It's just, although it is pretty damn good. The missus cooked it the other day with some salmon, I think it was. And like, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I had it, it was a little rubbery, but this time when she made it, it wasn't her that made it the first time, but this time when she made it, it was really good. So I think I'd fuck with some asparagus again still, as a side note.
Well, I know a place you can get 29 acres worth.
Yeah, right? No, he's doing like he can't get anybody to come work it because it's not. People think they're better than it.
Yeah.
Well, you know he's not the only one. So what that means is
like
we're going to be looking at food shortages coming down pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Which
minimum wage in Canada is 15 bucks an hour where we live.
We're still at 8.
No, it's 14 bucks an hour, and a lot of these farmers are willing to give you a place to live while you're working there for free. So you're collecting a paycheck and have somewhere to live that has heat, hydro, air conditioning, and food.
Yeah, but they don't always provide the best conditions for their migrant workers. Let's be honest.
It's true.
But yeah, for the most part, they do have a good situation. I'm not gonna lie. I see a lot of why people don't want to do it, but I don't agree with it. Because some of these people are complaining on one side that they don't have a way to get what they need, but at the same time not willing to do what they have to do to earn what they want. So I don't know.
I told my kids growing up, there's always a job. There's always a way to make money. You just got to be willing to do it.
Yep.
Flipping burgers for a year or two is nothing while you're making a degree. It's no disrespect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of jobs that I personally couldn't do, and that's only because of my psychology, not because of anything else. And it's not because I think I'm better than it. It's because I would tell a motherfucker where to go and get fired. It's just, you know what I mean?
I've done everything from picking rocks out of a fucking ground to the military, so there's nothing much that I haven't done. Or
military, I had flat feet, so I couldn't go. So That's what they told me, anyways. They came, they did the recruiting. I said, "Look," and they like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're just not eligible." Said, "All
I'm
right,
half
I don't know
deaf
how
and
to."
I was still served.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
just
you
couldn't
need
go
to
over.
be able
I
to
could
hear.
just couldn't deploy. So I was
Uh,
a instructor. I was a firearms instructor.
Oh,
well,
nice.
you,
Didn't know that.
And I went around doing competitions all around Canada.
so it just goes to show you don't need hearing to shoot a gun.
No, and apparently I was a natural from the time I was 12 on when I joined cadets.
Nice.
Never shot a gun in my life, and then they hand me a gun, and I'm, out shooting my COs.
Nice.
It
So
was
are you guys allowed to have like handguns or shotguns or anything in Canada?
we have guns, yes. We're not
You have
allowed
to have a
ARs.
license.
Yeah, you need a license. You got a psych test. Our laws are a little stricter. We don't have open conceal and carry. It's got to be under lock and key. Like we
That's
look.
similar.
Yeah,
Most Canadians, and I say most, because there is some that believe we should have it like the Constitution in the States, but it's never been part of our DNA. Guns for us are for hunting, not protection.
yep.
Like if you look at um, what's his name, Mike Moore. If you watch the opening credits, he's walking downtown Toronto and just opening up people's doors, and they're unlocked. And this is downtown Toronto. My door doesn't get locked until nighttime. And I've lived in like the hood where I've dodged bullets and woken up the sheets across my front yard of my building. And we never locked our door.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's just not my style, bro. I call me ignorant. I don't care. I'm locking my shit. I get out of my car, I lock that motherfucker. I walk into my house, I turn around, I lock that motherfucker too.
If somebody really wants my shit bad enough, come fucking take it and just hope that you kill me first. Because
So
I'm not afraid of a gun. I never have been.
like in a city like Toronto, like over the weekend, would there be like a bunch of shootings or that's like super rare?
Not right now. Right now, there's a problem in Toronto for the last 5 years. There's a huge push from U.S. Gangs like the 13 Kings, Crips, the Bloods. They're all pushing up and trying to overtake. We've had problems since we shut down a lot of the Hells Angels stuff and the bikers that used to keep a lot of peace in Toronto. So there is a big gang war going on that they're not talking about. That's kind of behind closed doors. That's going on.
Interesting. Okay.
Like
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's
And
been
then like
kept
the
hush
Hells
hush.
Angels used to keep the peace. That's really interesting.
They used in Toronto. That was the safest places to live. Live by a clubhouse. I used to live by
I don't
tons of
know.
clubhouses. They were the
I lived
quietest
by the
fucking
Scarborough
neighborhood.
Town Center. I lived in some of the. I don't think I had too many close to where I was. I didn't have a lot. There wasn't a lot of issue in my neighborhood by way of like my sense of protection. I don't know if it was because my dad knew people all over the place, or if it was just us establishing ourselves. But I don't know. It's just different. Were the times different when there were more bikers around? Yeah, but I've had my issues with them in the same breath, so I can't speak the same gospel, so to speak. So
Yeah, I found them to be the quietest of areas for me, but that also could be involvement with my family.
mm, mm.
Because my
Do
grandmother.
you guys have a real bad problem like with the heroin and the
Hell yeah.
opiates up there?
Yes.
Fentanyl is killing people left, right, and center. I think like I know family members who have friends who've lost like 3, 4 people to fentanyl in the last 2, 3 years. It's just
And this
ridiculous.
area, Welland's actually a pretty bad area for it, and so is Niagara Falls. This last year hasn't helped anybody. Like, let's be honest. Addicts, and what's going to happen? You give the people that are, I don't even want to say mentally sick, but mentally unstable, that don't have a support system. they're going to fall to things that are easy to get. You know what I mean? Like it is a horrible, horrible thing that has no bounds, no boundaries whatsoever. I don't care what country you're at. I've heard there's fentanyl across the world that's just going insane.
All fentanyl comes out of China.
Boy, China's just fucking up the world, aren't they? I had to say, this is a savage circle. I haven't said anything that remotely, but no. When you look at it, like how do we know this isn't some kind of fucking like chemical, biological? This is like biological warfare. It realistically is, in a sense.
To me, it's a foregone conclusion, but I just keep my thoughts to myself. But
my opinions are free flowing like the falls. You don't have to agree with me. It's just
that's what makes people and discussions a lost art is people can't discuss shit without saying you're wrong, I'm right. And it's left versus right, you versus me, us versus them. Like that's bullshit. That's how they win. That's how other people win, is like when they have a divide. And that's all that's been going on the last 5-10 years.
Something like that.
If you can't go sit around a coffee table or a fucking kitchen table and have a decent conversation without wanting to kill someone, you've lost the art of conversation.
We've lost the art of conversation. Definitely in the States. It's so divided now. It's terrible.
Oh,
it's terrible.
Do you know what our entertainment is? Watching your guys' elections.
Oh God, that's fun.
It's seeped into our elections. Like that's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, we are overthrown with whatever the hell America's doing. It doesn't like history, art, music, you name it. If it's not American, then it's not the standard. And I appreciate that. You guys make great stuff, but it's just like, do you think America's down there holding us to any high regard, even though they have a lot of Canadian content down there that's just rebranded as American? Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, Jim Carrey. Let's start there and work our way down.
Schitt's Creek.
You know what I mean?
Five Finger Death Punch up until recently had a huge Canadian guitar player in there. Hook is Canadian. He's from Toronto.
Yep.
Nobody realizes that.
And hey, I ain't mad at that.
For the fucking top 40 is Canadian. Deadmau5. He's from the area we live in.
David Foster, y'all adopted him like he came out of America. He Canadian. But no,
well, you got the Birthday Massacre.
Okay.
They're from Toronto.
Oh shoot.
Big dark wave band.
Nice.
It's just amazing on how the blurred of the cultures go on. Like we are such different countries. But we rely on, I don't know why, but we rely a lot on what comes out of, the States for music trends.
Yes.
Don't.
And your guys' politicians on the right love to beat us down about our healthcare and how it's socialism and you're going to lose your life and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, right. That shit done saved me at least 4 times. I'm just saying.
There's really no difference between the right and the left here. It's just a front. They're just playing ping pong ball back and forth. I'll pass it to you for a couple weeks. Pass it to me. It's over. We needed a couple third party people to bring some integrity back, but those days are over. We're done.
No one's held accountable. If you have enough money, then you can do it.
Yes, there's no accountability. Absolutely. That's gone. We're the Roman Republic.
That's the word right there. Accountability. Oh man, I like putting the boots to people when it comes to accountability. Let a manufacturer make a product that malfunctions in my possession. Oh boy, are you ever accountable for that? Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah, I should have heard him go off on his internet provider.
Hey man,
we were having a meeting and all of a sudden he's like, hold on a second, I'm calling them now.
You can't offer me 60 megabits per second or megabits per second and then actually provide me 13. It's not even like you're giving me 40. You're giving me 13 and you're offering me 60. No, I want my 55 plus. Give it to me. I want it now, and then I want a discount for the time that I didn't have it.
Yeah. Right, because you're paying for it.
Right.
You see what I'm talking about, though? That's where it is. And like, if you were giving it to me for free, all right, cool. You know, I just wanted to let you know that there's a situation, but what I'm paying for it, yo, motherfucker, come here. Come here.
Put a
We gotta
meeting
talk
on
for a
hold for
second.
this conversation. It was great.
Our meeting was on the internet, man. Like, I had to, like, you're just kind of thing, like, and I'm trying to talk to you, and it's just, I can't work like that. No, they had to fix it. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of fighting for the underdog, the little guy. You know what I mean? If anybody's done an injustice, I do what I can to try and right the wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see any point in doing harm to your fellow man. It doesn't make sense to me. Even people who want to see my downfall, I just, I wish you well. I hope that whatever you're doing brings you great success. And I want you to do good with your life. Congratulations. And, let life be let the light that guides you bring you somewhere special and hold you there. Out of my way.
I just find it funny the way how both our countries are a lot similar, but on how much, I don't know. It's just insane on how different people look at
from
us
like
the north.
Discussion we've had, we are definitely going more towards your direction as far as like the socialism and everything.
Well, here's the thing: we're a democratic socialism, which is different than socialism. Okay, socialism at its root means the government owns everything you do and everybody gets a chunk of it. Here, you're allowed to own a business. You pay your taxes. That's as far as the government owns of your business. Where socialism, government will take part of your profit. So I call this a democratic socialism, where it's a fundamental belief that the young take care of the old, the rich take care of the poor, and the well take care of the sick. That's what our socialism is supposed to be. But it seems that the U.S. profit is trying to, but you can do this and make money off of this type of thing. So, it's kind of getting beat up and chewed up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going through a huge transition. For example, with COVID, that you guys are still going through is like the lockdowns and what's essential. Mm-hmm. So here you can go to the big box stores to buy stuff, but like the small restaurants were closed, the churches were closed. So like it really separated the divide between the big corporations and the small independent contractors.
This lockdown, they made it to the businesses can open for curbside pickup. So even though they're selling non-essential, as long as you do curbside pickup, you're allowed to buy it or have it delivered to you.
Sure. So we did that as well.
So we kept the small businesses in. Restaurants are overflowing with work, a lot of them actually, because a lot of people are ordering in more because they don't want to go shopping.
Because they have to, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a small business and you're not, doing something, that sounds more like you have a bad problem with money. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of small businesses that are flourishing right now for the curbside pickup.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's. I'm on the fence with that whole big box versus small business. If you are set up as a small business to, take advantage of these laws, then you're going to succeed. I understand, salons, you can't get a haircut right now. So that's stupid. Like that kind of shit doesn't make sense to me, but
I don't really see how a haircut is essential unless you're employed in an occupation where your appearance is,
Tell that to a dementia patient that wants her haircut every 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Well, for the cosmetologist, it's essential.
That's true. That's true.
My
I'm
mother
not
has
taking.
dementia, and I just had
I'm
an
not.
argument with her today about haircuts.
I'm not taking away from those who need the situation. I'm just saying on the overall. I mean, there's got
Some
to be a
people, it's their
middle
therapy.
ground.
It's their mental health.
You're talking to a guy who advocates for the arts, and I appreciate the art of cosmetology. It's just essential, like get someone who knows how to do it to do it. I don't know, like find someone in your network who's capable of doing it. Everybody has someone in their network who's
Oh, I
capable of
do.
doing
I do. But
something that they require.
my mother's hasn't not been a year. Today was her first time in a year to go out shopping.
Okay.
You saw what I looked like when I came home.
Yeah, seemed very stressed.
Yes. So there is people with diseases and problems that can't comprehend what's going on.
Oh, again,
And so
I'm
like a
not
haircut
taking
is
away from
something
that.
that's, essential to them. What's essential to somebody is different to everybody else.
I get that, and I've had that argument. I'm saying on the grand scheme of things, where it comes to the amount of people dealing with that circumstance and the overall situation, it's not going to facilitate anything beneficial for the masses that might want to look. It's like I hate to say it, but it's to sacrifice the one for the benefit of the many kind of scenario
Then you
that
might as
happens.
well rip up your backyard and start planting vegetables, because going to the corner store is going to do the same thing as getting a haircut.
Again,
Less people are touching your hair than they are touching your food.
well,
Like, I see both sides of the argument, but I understand we
seem
all
like
have to
it.
do our own thing. But a haircut.
Well, here's what we're doing in the States here. Over the summer, they opened up the salons. You have to wear a mask. There's a divider between every stall now.
They did that before the last lockdown.
Okay. But I mean, it's cool because my hairstylist is like my friend, so it's cool to bullshit.
Yeah.
It's cool to feel normal, have the routine, ask how are you doing through all this, So it's been interesting, but they've all gotten their vaxes, and so
I got mine.
I cut my own hair, so I think that's my.
All right, so that's the base problem.
That might be why I might sound so insensitive, but
I
it's not
haven't
that.
paid
It's
for
just
a barber in decades.
I have to, or my hair will be out of control. What's left of it, so I have to go.
Oh man,
I haven't paid for a barber since I was in the military. My hair.
The cosmetologist knew we were repping them on this music show. They'd be really proud of us.
You know what I mean? Like straight up. Shout out to my aunties who are both hairdressers. You know what I mean? Holding it down for y'all. So
I know what you mean.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I saw where they started from. They were doing like hairdressing in their basements and their spare rooms and things like that. So trust me, coming from a position where I've been like knuckle deep in people's hair and washing and stuff like that. So I see and know the trials and tribulations of that industry.
I took it to school.
It's definitely something that's worthwhile to have, and I wouldn't want to see anybody out of their natural element of employment or anything like that. But like I said, it's just if you can do it in a way that doesn't create further complication, I'm not saying you shouldn't. But if you're gonna harbor people in a way that creates a problem, like that one studio did in St. Catharines.
Oh, saying that they were a TV studio charging people to be part of a documentary. Yeah, that's when the industry says you're not a studio, then you have a problem. When you're trying to do something to circumvent something, I understand that. But I also understand that, like, I don't know why they can't do appointments and only have 1 to 2 people in there getting their hair cut at a time, sanitize. It's no different than when we were going to restaurants when they were open. No different than standing in line at Costco.
Oh, it's much different than standing in line in Costco. In Costco, it's a rat race to get what you need at a low price, and like that's fucking crazy. Costco and Walmart to me are just, if you can have both of those open, then there's other things that should be allowed to
You should be able to
operate.
get a
But
haircut.
that's just a different ball game in
Less people
itself.
get their haircut at one time than they go into Walmart.
Yeah, but they're in a closed area and they're confined. So all those hair fibers and shit that's flying over the air and all of that stuff, that's kind of creating a type of pollution that could propagate whatever
If you're wearing a
issues
mask, it
are
won't
within.
go up your nose.
An
Hey, man.
N95 mask.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that loaf of bread
Or
you're
or
grabbing has touched at least 10 people's hands have touched it before it even made it to the store.
an effects may vary
It's may
mask.
vary.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very timely.
Yes. Thank you for the segue. I appreciate it.
But it's I'm starting to get tired, but I do understand the problems.
There's problems. Lots of
That's what it
problems.
is. We're not going to solve the problems by arguing semantics. It's a matter of looking at the way to, like, the way it is when everybody was to themselves in their corners, this thing was going down. There's a mass of people who are carrying it on them innately that don't even know about it, that are spreading it, and then there's a mass of people who are being affected by it. So until we can separate, until we can dilute it enough, we have to hold our corners.
Well, that's where the states are
I
ahead of
built a
us. They
work
have
from
the
home
vaccine out
strategy.
a lot further than we do. So, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you can be an anti-vaxxer, you can complain that it was rushed. mRNA vaccine has been in work since the 50s, and in the 90s they even tried to do a cancer vaccine with it, and they've been sitting back and waiting for something that this method of vaccine can be used so the masses can take it with minimal problems. Sure, yes, all three of them cause blood clots, but smoking a cigarette can cause a blood clot faster in more people. Like
That's
you're nitpicking at something that's less than what the death rate of this fucking virus is.
yeah. You bring up an interesting point. I didn't know that about the RNA vax. So
Yeah, well, before I got mine, I'm a person that wants to go and read the actual medical reports. I want to
Smart.
study what I'm going to put into me, and yeah, it was originally thought of back in 1953. And then in the early to mid 90s, they actually tried a cancer vaccine with it. But, cancer's ever evolving and ever changing. It just didn't work out the way they did it. So they've been playing around with it for other things. There's so much less chemicals in the MNR than there is a regular immunization. And I'm allergic to a lot of vaccines.
Okay.
Well, I'm not a medical professional, so I don't really feel comfortable discussing the elements of this because at the end of the day, some Yahoo could, oh, well, I heard it on the Savage Circle, and I'm just I'm just not trying for that. So
yeah, it's terrible.
I've read into it. I've read all the top, like the Mayo Clinic in the States. They're one of the most revered, studyings of anything. And
that's fine.
Medical journeys and everything else. Like I've talked to my doctors and everything because I have to be careful what I put in my body, right? Like I have not had a tetanus shot since I was a little child, and it almost killed me. So I got to be careful what I take what's in a vaccine or an immunization. I can't take a flu shot because I have lung problems. So I have to research this shit. I got to look at this shit. And when it outweighs, me killing my mother because of a virus, I'll take it. You know what I mean? When I'm rest assured and I'm quite calm that there's nothing in there that's going to kill me, because there's a lot of shit that can kill me.
Yeah. Well, they've really rolled it out here in Ohio. It's now 16 and above can get it. 16 years old and above can get it now.
Well, depending on
by May 24th, we're supposed to be at 18 plus.
Yeah.
So actually, they're doing a weekly rollout. I think next week it's 55 plus, then the week after it's 40 plus, then the week after that it's 30 plus, and then after that it's the 18 plus. For
Or
what
if
I
you want, you
remember.
can register to be on call where they'll phone you and say you have an hour to get here for any age.
Yeah, that didn't work for me, but hey,
Mm.
maybe it was the number.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
weird because you can go to.
I turned down the first wave of the vaccines because I didn't want to jump the line.
Yep.
Okay.
I want to make
You
sure
can.
that my first responders and that got it first before I did.
That's interesting. You can go to a local drugstore now and get it. Like the drugstore down the street for me, I was in there shopping and they're like, "Hey, anybody wants a vax? We've got extra." Like,
Wow.
I guess we need to ship them up north.
Yeah, by all means, let them know.
Well, Niagara Falls' numbers of cases are starting to drop because they went, okay, here's a hot spot. Everybody in this hot spot, you can get it now.
Oh, so it worked.
It's the numbers are showing it. We'll see how it spikes in a week. But it's showing that, because our clinics are full, our pharmacies are full. They're giving their shots out all day long. My family doctor is full every day. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. Our numbers went down.
Interesting times.
Wow. So, and I watch the numbers. Some of them are inflated because it's old data that gets added into it. But it's interesting. Interesting to see what people think of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can only look after yourself so much before you have to look after your neighbor. Because what you do affects everybody.
Well, considering the fact that when I took my landlord to the court, I made sure they had to fix the whole property. I think I'm good on that. I think I'm good. I can look out for me now, just a little bit, a little bit.
The stuff I do that I know will benefit other people, like an immunization shot, is easy. The reason why polio doesn't run rampant, vaccines work.
True.
Herd immunity doesn't work unless 75% of the population's immunized. You can't kill off something without doing it, right? But it's interesting.
Like I said, I'm an advocate for the people. I leave the science to the scientists. I leave the science to the scientists because at the end of the day, no matter how much I know about it, they still ain't gonna take my opinion to heart because of accreditation. By the way, I should hang up my business licenses right here and right here, just so people can see that shit. I own 2 of them, Culture Shock and Explosive Mode. I just put these motherfuckers right here, just bam. But no,
I like the band shirts back there.
Yes. These are
One Crew's a local family that does shows.
All groups that I've worked with over the last 2 years out here.
Yeah,
This tie-dye shirt right here. This tie-dye shirt right here is one of my favorite. That's by Vibrant Arrow, Zach Burry. This is actually Jay's FX My Very shirt, the Lund Crew shirt, the Culture Shock shirt. We got Slightly Intoxicated, and then my Explosive North shirt over a basketball shirt from a year we won a basketball tournament, which is the same year that the Raptors won, which is the same year that I shot from half court. So
hey,
we need to get some Dispel merch.
SBE. Yeah, I need to get some. Hey man, I will probably hang some Dispel merch up here.
Yeah, I need to get some Dispel merch too.
Yeah. That's a good logo that you got there. Like it could definitely I could see it embroidered on hats. I could see it like a nice good just dish
across the shoulder.
Yeah, the next step is doing a I think we're going to do a Kickstarter for this next album, and that's going to be the next step.
Merch deals are like down in the States, like for buying shirts and that.
Oh, you basically want to get them from Europe, basically.
Because here it's what, say 30 shirts for
how many? 6.
30 shirts were about $300.
Yeah,
30 shirts
with the logo on it. Yeah,
$300-$400. Now think of this: our $300 is more like your $250.
But I might have someone for you to talk to. Remember I was talking about Lushy Bantan earlier. He actually has a connect out in Cleveland.
Oh,
Yeah. So he has a connect on t-shirts out in Cleveland. So let me talk to him. I actually got to talk to him when we're done here. And then I could talk to him about you and the potential for the t-shirts. But nothing, you know what I mean, nothing etched in stone, but you know,
sure.
because he, as soon as he mentioned Cleveland, you were the first person that came to mind. So I was just like, okay, excellent. But I wasn't sure where you were in the element of like if you already had somebody or whatnot. So I said I was gonna mention it to you, so it just came up. So
If
here's
he's
me mentioning
ordering
it.
from freaking Europe to make it cheaper, that's insane.
Well, what we're
Well,
doing now is we're just doing print the order on
yeah,
Teespring. So
Yeah.
if someone goes to our website, orders a T-shirt, it's print the made.
yes.
But we don't have the capital to order 100 shirts right now. I mean, absolutely not. You know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely the price that he quoted me was better than the price that I'm getting right now. I just have to get the details, and the person is out of town for like the next week or two. So
Connections,
um
man.
yeah, I will talk. I'll put your name in their ear so they know, and then if it is the price that he quoted me, I'll tell you off camera what the price is. But if it's a
Sure.
price that if it's a price he quoted me and it's the design with it, then it's something that's more feasible than the price we just quoted you
Okay.
for what
Yeah.
we for what we got. Yeah, because I remember I picked up like 20, 25 shirts and it would cost me like 250. I got a track shirt, a track suit. Yeah, I got a bunch of different stuff from this one guy that I work with, but that was just local, me working with a local business. But if there's a way to
And
get it a better,
they're
go ahead,
charging you $10 a shirt.
with
With
the
graphic.
design on it, with the graphic on it.
Is that embroidered two sides?
Oh no, it's a silk screen.
Okay,
quality
that's
shirts.
kind of
Good-
high. Like
good
in the
quality.
States, you're looking at $5 to $6 silk screened a shirt.
Yeah,
These are really good quality though.
real high, like a high quality
Okay.
cotton blend though. Like it's literally their, I think their top of the line shirt that I got. So yeah, but about that's about $8-9 up here. You're
Okay.
5'6", you're five
Yeah.
six is about 8-9 up here. So about a
It's
dollar
about a
off.
31% exchange rate right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's $1.31 US Canadian to buy $1 US.
All right.
So you would be
So that makes
paying
sense. If it's the top
69
quality, like soft cotton, that's awesome
yeah,
then.
you'd be paying
Soft
69
cotton.
cents a dollar to buy a Canadian dollar type of thing.
Hmm.
And actually, they're kind of like the Under Armour kind of workout shirts. They're really light, really breathable, really comfortable.
Yeah, elastic, but they hold their shape.
They're really nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout outs to
I'll be
Instant Imprints.
I'll be looking forward to having a merch table at a live show one of these days.
Right?
Yep.
All these T-shirts hanging up behind it, the good old days.
You and me both.
Yeah.
I'm actually been working on T-shirt designs
Oh, nice.
because whenever I get the music back from you, and I got a few other songs that are coming back, I can put it all together like an EP type of thing and throw it out and make sure I pump every band and every member that's doing something on it. Make sure keep it going. I'm gonna throw a few bills into it to make sure it gets some proper, promo. Got to promote everybody that's helping and doing shit, right? Got to bring those links and those clicks and those likes.
One at a time. One fan at a time.
Hey, I don't think there's a show that you don't get mentioned. Effects may vary, and a few other R&B artists that we have that we mentioned every show.
Their last video, I heard made quite a stink. With
Parasite. Oh
yeah.
Yes.
Great video. Great video.
Yep.
It's a great
It
song.
was definitely.
It hit a nerve with some people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're apparently calling her to make sure she was okay.
Yeah,
That's
what I heard.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. When you do something that resonates that well.
Her father posted on one of them saying no Charlottes were harmed in the making of this video.
Oh, okay. The problem was though, wasn't that about one of her friends?
About somebody she knows, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of hope that person's okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: you can't fix people that like to be broken. No matter how much self-destruct is happening, you can only do so much if they don't want to do anything themselves. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like I've stepped into those situations to help, and it almost got me arrested because they didn't want to fix their problems. And I've done that more than once. And it's just insane how people can put themselves through that. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all.
I'm lost at that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I raised 4 girls. Anybody hurts my girls, they better fucking run and bury themselves. You know what I mean? I have grandkids. You hurt my grandkids, you better make sure you leave town. You better leave the fucking continent. You know what I mean? And I'm the least of your worries. They have uncles. So I just I don't know. Anyways, back to music.
Yeah,
I feel like we touched on all the social topics today.
Got them today, man. This is Savage Circle, episode 20, special edition with Scott Doland of Dispel. Man, always a pleasure to be chopping it up with you. Man, this is great. So when can we look for? I don't set a specific date, but like when can we hope to see? Well, you said May 22nd. You're hoping to have
would be
live?
The live performance. Yeah,
live performance. Okay. So I think that's the one to focus on. We'll get this promo playing. Jay, you could probably add a date to that promo, right? And then
I can do lots. I'm actually gonna go. I might go rape your YouTube, and I want to throw you something together.
Yeah. Okay.
See what
I'm not volunteering. Go ahead.
I will say the interview I just did for your fanzine, you have the first picture from our photo shoot from yesterday. So you're the only one that has it.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
When are you putting that magazine out so I can read? Because I don't read the magazines before you put them out.
Yeah. I'm gonna be putting it out the second week of May.
Okay.
Second week of May? Yeah, second week of May.
That's almost coordinated right with the live show there.
Yeah. So it'll come out. Yeah. It'll come out just before then. So, and I will put your. Is it going to be on your website?
Yeah, I'll be sure and promote it very well as we get closer to it.
So what I'll do is I'll put your Twitch in this month then. Your Twitch in the magazine.
Cool. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Pump that Twitch, man.
Yeah.
Get those subs up. Get
those numbers up.
Yeah. All right.
Our Twitch right now, we seem to get 1 viewer for each channel on our Twitch right now, all the time, guaranteed.
Nice.
I'm watching right now.
I have those codes ready to go for
we got to meet up, man. I haven't seen you in 4 weeks almost.
Going on a month, yeah. Your lasagna is starting to look a little tempting. It's okay. It's still in the freezer. It's still in the freezer. It's good. Oh man, I just mailed out.
I got 5 pounds of curds.
Hey, I put some curds in the lasagna. That's how many curds I have.
Border opens up. Scott has to come up for a cook fest with us.
Oh man,
I'm down for that.
It's gonna be something. Yep.
We were actually talking about your cooking show when I was on the Boneyard with TJ. It came up and like, the black man, he's cooking some serious food up there. We got to laugh about it.
Nice.
We've done quite a few cook shows. Well, we can't do them right now just because the restrictions, and we don't want to jeopardize anyone's household. So
yeah.
It is what it is. So it's on hold for a little bit until
we can open up a little bit more.
Hopefully.
I'm telling you, man. Like as soon as I'm allowed to have 10 people, it's like even 5 people,
man.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have a child, bro. The day they shut us down, we had the chef from Soulicious was gonna come through. The Niagara Music Award winner for 2019, Ezra, was gonna come through. Lonzy G was gonna be here. Jay was gonna be here. I think Memoirs of a Mustache.
We were gonna have another jam.
Yeah.
We had a front room jam the week before that, 2 weeks
Yeah.
before that.
Memoirs
Got
of
the instruments and started jamming in his front room.
Memoirs of a Mustache, Zach Burry, like, because we were allowed to have 10 people, right? So like I was gonna push that 10 people. Like we had 7 artists and then my 2 family members. Plus, so we had space for one. And then they're like, okay, this day it's shutting down. It was the day before. And I was just like, no.
Yeah,
So
we're having fun with these cookouts. Like we're having a blast with them.
Yep, definitely. Like trying to figure out what we could make with the fried dumpling. Like we were stuffing fried dumpling with everything. Cheese, we stuffed it with corned beef. I think we stuffed it with chicken one time. Like
one day we made like 70 sliders.
Yep.
Oh yeah, with brioche buns and jerk chicken, lasagna.
Yep.
Stuffed jalapeno peppers, wings. Like it's like a Saturday tradition. It was until they shut us down.
Yep. It was
like
we
had
good,
people just going up the door, going, "You got room so we can munch with you?"
Yeah. A couple of people just like, "Oh, just let us know whenever you're cooking. We'll come over." And I'm just like, and then I got a call the next week. It's just like, "So you cooking this week?" And I'm just like, "Oh man, no, I can't even do it like that because the way things are happening. It's like I'd rather hold off until I'm allowed to than try to push it and then end up." Because if it's gonna happen to anybody, it's gonna happen to me. So I just don't.
Those fines range anywhere from $750 to $100,000.
Yeah,
you don't want that.
No. And especially since I've already been banned from City Hall out here, I know I'm on their radar.
The mayor of Niagara Falls will not take my phone call.
Really?
Yep.
I
walk in, people walk away from the desk.
Well, that's the same problem I have where I live. So maybe I'll talk to, because I had a meeting with the mayor of Niagara Falls a couple months ago, actually.
How much did you pay him?
Nothing.
It's about the only way he takes meetings nowadays. You got to pay him.
Nah, man, we paid him not $1, and we had a conversation about different places in the falls where we could use as like a resource center, kind of like to make a drop-in center for people who wanted to do the arts. But this happened, so here we are.
It's okay. You can go meet Ford. He's having a meeting with him next week off the books. Yeah, you gotta love it when our prime minister goes around and does secret meetings off the books.
Yeah. Oh, when I called them on that, bro, they did not like it at all. They didn't like it at all. Notice how they started leaning on our dude though? Like we're talking over here, right? And they're like, "Oh, that has nothing to do with what's happening over here." Meanwhile, the more we talk over here, the closer we get to what's happening over here. So we're talking over here, and then it's like getting closer to the point where as we're talking about it, something's happening right here. Yeah.
Oh, we have fun with our political parties here. Like we live in a very political area. It's very funny.
12 years and running, I have been on the phone with the office of the premier for every week, except for maybe 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
You haven't been labeled a dissident?
Oh no, they what was that? I was labeled a bipartisan nuisance.
Influencer?
A bipartisan nuisance.
Yeah.
Great name for an album.
Right?
I'm telling you. So
I'm not gonna let my spell yet. When all these songs come back, I have an actual title for the whole little EP and everything.
Great. Can't wait.
I'll say it off of camera. I'm not gonna say it on camera. I actually even have a couple little things I'm working on to see how it looks.
Okay.
But Charlotte just sent me a song and she's like, "When you get a chance, listen to it." I'm like, "Okay," because I've been busy until now. I just finished doing vocals for it. I'm like, "Okay." She gets really excited. Like one day they're just like, "Oh, what kind of music do you got?" And I just start sending them random, like some acoustic stuff, some metal stuff, and they're like, "Okay, I'll take this and run with that." Okay, well, whatever, dude. Enjoy.
Cool. Yeah. Their heart's in it.
Oh yeah. and they're trying to record their album at the same time. Like they're trying to stay just as busy as like you or us or everybody. You know what I mean? Like they're still trying to do them. Which,
Yeah, I think there's a common consensus among all of us. Like it's go time now. You know, the last thing you want to do is get
in your own
uh,
head.
lost behind on what's going on now. It's go time.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to get lost in my own thoughts. You know, the most dangerous ones is sitting by yourself doing nothing, right? Idle hands.
And everybody's at home doing that.
Right, and it's just creating a bunch of crazy things and stupidity, and you know, it's just I don't know. I'd much rather be working. I need to go play a show. I need to go to a show. I need to go see a show. I need to go do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you guys can't come. You can't come south, huh? You can't cross the border.
Nope.
Not unless we want to pay for 4 days in a hotel at up to $500 a day when we come back.
Oh, because like a quarantine.
Yep. Mandatory hotel quarantine.
Yep.
You get locked in the hotel. They'll bring your food and everything. You're not allowed to leave. While you wait.
Kind of like prison.
Kind of.
Actually, there's workarounds that like there's people walking across the bridges and that, and they're stopping that slowly now too. Because it gets you around the quarantine. But you know, I can't wait to go back across the border.
Yeah, like you could come here, you could get your vax at the local drugstore. We could go to a metal show, and you could go to a nightclub and have a beer. I mean,
right? I'm already vaccinated. I got vaccinated last week.
Okay.
My wife got hers today. My mother got hers a month ago.
Well, then, if
the first wave.
If you have the card, then you should be able to cross the border. But or does that make too much sense?
Our border is closed.
Okay.
Yep.
Our federal government closed it. The only thing that's allowed to go across is essential. That's it right now. And that's what it's been for now, a year, 14 months.
Something like that. 413, 15 days or something like that.
Something like that. Like, I can't wait to go across because, like, yeah, I went across, did some shopping, but I enjoyed the drive through, you know, go down into Buffalo. I can go watch my Leafs play for cheaper than I can in Toronto. Like in Toronto, a ringside ticket's costing me $1,500 to start, where I can go over to Buffalo and pay, you know, $50 and watch them play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss simple things like that, but like I can literally walk down and just look at the states. There's spots where you could I could throw rocks and be considered a terrorist because I'm throwing stuff at you. Like, you know where Art Park is? Have you ever heard of Art Park?
Mm-mm.
It's a little park that's where is it?
Fort Erie.
No, it's over by the Brock Monument. But it's low lying down by the river, and our side is up top, so you can actually sit there and watch and listen to concerts for free. So
okay.
I watched Primus for free.
Yeah.
And it's just like things like that I miss, like, or going over to see, you know, a show for $20 instead of a show that's here for 90 for the exact same musicians.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think my last show we paid $70 to go see High on Fire and Power Trip.
70. Wow.
Yeah. Or when I went and saw Demu Burger was, I think that was $65 to go see Demu Burger.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's
not cheap. No.
Not up here because they got to pay to come across. They got to pay their taxes because they're working here. It's the same thing if we go down. If I go to play a show down there, if I do it legally, it's going to cost me about $400 a person to get that visa. And the U.S. just put it up again on us. It's insane. It's almost cheaper just for us to do like they do in Brazil. Have a bunch of musicians that are going to lend us gear. We'll go across. So we're going to go visit friends, go play a couple of shows, and come back. Mail our merch over and have it made down there.
Yeah, because they would check the van.
Yep. Why are you all going? Well, we're going out for a band kind of, get together.
Team
bonding.
building exercise.
Exactly. Oh yeah, there's tons of bands that do that. My buddy that plays the open air festival, Full Assault, they have to pay for like a $500 visa for one show.
Wow, there goes their profit.
Yeah, there goes.
That's the U.S.
Too bad we're only getting paid $350.
Right. Yeah. Actually, they were supposed to play last year with Guar, but got canceled. This year got canceled.
Life got canceled this year, man.
Yeah, it did.
Dust Walker plays at Full Assault all the time. Local band. I miss shows. That's all I miss.
Well, just hoping we get to put some on, at least in a live capacity, sooner than later.
Some sort.
Right.
Our industry is the only industry that hasn't restarted.
Well, when it restarts, it'll restart with a bang.
Hopefully. If there's
bang.
But I guess we should pull this backstage before we bore everybody.
Yeah.
Before we go political again.
You know what I mean? We want to thank y'all for taking the time to watch us chop it up. It has been the Savage Circle episode 20 special edition featuring Scott of Dispel. We have DUI in the building as well. I want to thank y'all for your time. Appreciate your efforts and your energy. Share the link. And yeah, tell us what you think. We're coming back to you on Saturday with the Terrell Effect, as well as the regular edition of the Savage Circle with guests that I can't remember right now. So I'm going to have to find my list and tell you. Fallon Shaw is supposed to be on. All right. The Terrell Effect. And then we have who on Savage Circle?
I thought we had Fallon on the Savage Circle.
No, I think Fallon's on the Terrell Effect, but I could be. Yeah, and JD and TK are on the Savage Circle.
That's right.
Yeah, so tune in, and yeah, we'll have more for you. Oh,
always an honor.
All right, thank you for coming out again, Scott. Appreciate you.
Our pleasure.
Love you.